I'd like to ask you, Joey Kline, what is the biggest risk?
Sure. I don't have an insurance related answer, so that's good. Um, I have to say I do think that your industry is a very fascinating one, and I think if we had more time, I'd love to throw some of these back at you because insurance is a very rapidly changing industry over the past couple of years as well. Um, I look, I think that anyone who makes their money solely via commission has to constantly be thinking about risk. And if you're not, you probably won't be doing it for very long. So it is something that I think about a lot, sometimes too much. Um, and Atlanta is well, and I think commercial real estate in general, right? Unless you're in a really small tertiary market, Valdosta, Georgia, right? You kind of have to be a jack of all trades. Okay. There's not enough of one food group to really, feed you. In a market like Atlanta, you really have to specialize. Okay. What I've tried to do is within my specialization, diversify. That's how I think about risk. So my specialization is that I only represent tenants. I do absolutely no work whatsoever on behalf of landlords marketing buildings. That's not to say I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There are absolutely guys I know who do both sides of it, and they do well with it. I have very simply chosen for that to be my line in the sand. I only do work with tenants. However, within that work with tenants, certainly since 2020, I have tried to diversify the areas in which I do work and in which I target prospect, potential clients. So I was very, very heavy into, sort of growth stage, early stage technology companies at the start of my career. And part of that was because I enjoy spending time with those people. And part of it was because as a younger guy starting out, it's a little bit easier to get a meeting with the, CEO who's your age at a 10-person company than the managing partner at a law firm. Okay. Um, and when 2020 came, those were some of the really hardest hit companies. Not only because venture funding dried up, not immediately, of course, with them, but also they were some of the ones that took the most to remote work. So ever since then, I have diversified who I work with, right? More of a focus on professional services and finance, right? Those are some of the biggest uses of office space recently. Um, a a good portion of business focused on not pure industrial manufacturing, but more of flex. Flex is basically the office in the back, the warehouse in the front. All right. So, I helped a large water meter company establish kind of an HQ2, where they had a big office there, a warehouse, and manufacturing. Not only was that diversifying the type of group that I worked with, it was also extremely interesting. Um, I do some sort of pseudo hospitality work. I have a social club that I'm working with right now who wants to set up a location in Atlanta. Likely it will be in an office building, but it's a different use. So my risk assessment has been that while I am not trying to be a jack of all trades in terms of just any industry out there, that it's really important, especially right now, to change, not change, to increase the types of people and industries that you have in your orbit.